is this legal? You know,
Nope.
because like, don't say no. I could get arrested for this.
That's right.
Well, maybe it's a good thing I have a shield. Just saying,
Just saying.
right? Yeah. So, welcome to the EE Spotlight, the Event Ensemble Spotlight, Kenyatta Turner. First of all, I'm like, I gotta up my game here. You're looking mighty nice, and your green screen in the background fully branded. If you've watched any of these videos, I don't know how many people have actually done the brand thing, but you were like on it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, and I have the new logo. The new logo and the new
Yes,
headshot. Thanks to
I
you.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So we're going to talk about you and
Okay.
LegalShield, and if that thing is legal or not. We'll figure it out, right? But I'm not an attorney. You're not an attorney, but you offer a service that can give everyone peace of mind. Is that correct?
It is absolutely correct.
All right. So why don't you? I'll shut up. Tell me about LegalShield.
Absolutely. Well, it's fun that I'm not an attorney because I don't have to do all that work, but I simply have the ability to connect people to attorneys. We live in a country where it's very litigious here where we live. We have the most law firms and attorneys in any other country, yet no one can afford them, which doesn't quite make sense. So,
Wow.
Legal Shield, almost 50 years ago, really came up with a plan to where everyone kind of pools their money in, everyone pays a low monthly fee, and we all get access to quality attorneys affordably for all areas of business or family law in every single state in Canada and the United Kingdom.
Okay. So it's like, here's my $10,000 retainer fee, right? And now I have an attorney.
Except you might pay $25 a month for that.
Whoa. What?
Yeah.
So you don't need
Absolutely.
my $10,000 to have a professional attorney on staff?
Nope, not at all. And so here's the thing. We have law firms even. So for, let's say, if you need to have your family service protected, it's $25 a month and you have access to law firms in every single state. So you don't get just one attorney for your retainer fee. You get attorneys nationwide.
Wow. Okay. So I'm playing the dummy here, which by the way, I do well.
Very well.
Hey now. Okay. So I slip and I fall.
Okay.
And I've injured. Oh, my back! I hurt my back, right? Or somebody crashed into me.
Okay.
And I've got car insurance, maybe, or maybe not.
Maybe
Right?
not.
But so how does LegalShield help me with that?
Absolutely. Because in a situation like that, the first call you want to make is to your attorney, not to your insurance company, because your attorney is there to be an advocate for you. Your insurance company usually is not the same type of relationship. So you want to call your law firm and get your questions answered about how you proceed with dealing with said insurance related situation. The attorney can advise you and then even help you navigate those, choppy waters of dealing with an insurance company, right? They want to make sure that you get protected and that, see, I think it's like this. Attorneys are there to help make sure everybody else behaves like they should. So yes, we can help you.
So because this is Event Ensemble Spotlight, I at least have to shift to an event related analogy, if you will.
Okay, perfect.
Bride's getting married and there's a planner at the property. She's getting married at the Hilton or, the Sheraton or whatever it is. And there's a planner there.
Okay.
And the bride automatically thinks, that's my planner. But she's not, or he's not.
Okay.
Because that planner is actually, their responsibility is the hotel, the venue, not the person who's having the event.
Correct.
The person having the event should have their own personal planner. And that's in essence what you've described here. I have an insurance company and I pay them so that they will pay when I have an accident. But the truth is, I'm really, even though I have a customer relationship with them, their responsibility is not as much to me as it is to their shareholders or in that process.
Precisely.
So calling the attorney first, really, that is my advocate.
Absolutely. It helps you mitigate that risk because now you know how to handle it or deal with it. Now, if you're a business owner per se, and I get these questions oftentimes with people who have, let's say, business insurance. And if they have business insurance, they often think, well, why would I need Legal Shield or why would I need an attorney? I have insurance. Well, a simple answer is if something happened and you thought you needed to call your insurance company, well, you know what'll happen as soon as you call your insurance company. Chances are, if you have to file a claim, you're going to pay a deductible. And then you're going to deal with the insurance company with whatever's going to happen, it's going to happen. And then your insurance rates are going to go up. So let's say you called your attorney first after said incident occurred
Mhm.
and then found out, how should I go about dealing with the situation? What if you never need to call your insurance company at all? Because the attorney helped navigate the situation for you because they know the law and you don't. So oftentimes we just assume that we know the law because we think, well, first off, we think the law is logical. And that's the first mistake.
Mhm.
So, second, we ask non attorneys what their legal advice would be.
Uh,
That's a problem as well because everyone's got an opinion
Right. Well, business people do it all the time.
all the
DJs
time.
ask other DJs, well, how do you do this? Or what do you do
Sure,
when? And it's like,
sure.
they're DJs, they're not attorneys.
Yeah. And it makes sense to ask the question of the people who are in the same industry, right? And it makes sense, right? We have masterminds of people that we want to get advice from, but some questions aren't always for them. However, we do that because we don't know about an affordable way to get the answer other than Googling it or asking a friend or another DJ for free. But
Wow.
if we knew about an affordable way, then we may think, wow, it really makes sense for me to put, let's say $50 a month in my budget for a business owner. Let's say that one of the plans is that much. Let me just put that in the budget. That way I can make sure I get all of my questions answered, all of my contracts and documents looked at, everything
Okay, whoa,
up
whoa,
and
whoa,
up.
whoa, 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 whoa. Don't go too fast. I'm slow
Oh,
here, remember?
okay.
So let's back up here for a second.
I get on a roll. You got to stop me.
Oh, no. I appreciate your passion, your enthusiasm, and your excitement and all that. And best of all, I appreciate your information. So I'm plucking down my 25 or 50 or whatever it is every
Mhm.
month. And so then I can consult with an attorney.
Mhm.
But you started talking about other stuff
Mhm.
like business documents,
Yes.
contracts,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That,
Employee handbooks.
so that's extra, right?
Mm, Depends on the plan that you have. Typically, it's not. Typically, it's a flat monthly fee that you pay for the consultation, unlimited. Okay, unlimited means unlimited. Okay, unlimited advice and consultation. But we absolutely will review documents and contracts included in your plan, write letters and make phone calls on your behalf. We will go to court to defend you if someone files a claim against you,
Included, not,
included. Mhm.
not extra?
Mm-mm. Some things
Oh,
you can get as add-ons, depending, let's say trial
wow.
defense.
Right.
And we recently, and here's something exciting. Oh, exciting news. So Legal Shield just revamped all of our small business plans. They typically have been ran the same way for the last 40 years, 48 years. But in January, they relaunched them and they created them so much cooler. One, now you can get interstate plans. They used to be only for the state that your business was licensed in. Now you can get interstate plans for business related matters. Now you can a la carte a couple of things. So let's say you did want trial defense, which is a service that used to be included in some of our other plans. But now we realize not every company really needs trial defense. Maybe they're not in such a litigious industry.
Mhm.
Okay. Some industries are more litigious than others, right? Like a contractor, a plumber, pretty litigious versus like a consultant. Okay.
Mhm.
So, but if you wanted that, $15 a month, you can add the trial defense onto a plan that's already like $50 a month, right? So a couple of things can be a la carte now, like trial defense, but everything else you really is included in your plan.
And it goes both ways. So if I'm being sued, I have an attorney. And
Mhm.
if I want to sue someone, I have an attorney.
Yes. And here's the thing, how it works if you want to sue someone else. You can use your Legal Shield membership. And because you're a member, you get a 25% discount on filing a claim against someone else. Okay. Someone suing you, that's included. You want to file a claim, 25% off.
Because there are filing fees and processes, I'm assuming, right?
Absolutely. And it's a whole, it could go lots of different ways. So you can choose to either pay full price or, call the guy on the billboard, on the freeway, or you can use your Legal Shield law firm and you're going to get a 25% discount and all of the quality level of service and the accountability that comes with being a Legal Shield member, our attorneys are held accountable to that. Like we set the standard. And because we cut them a check the first of every month, whether you call or not, they abide by our standards.
Okay. So this deadbeat didn't pay me. Client didn't pay me for whatever reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like in that range, it's too much or it's too little for small claims or it's just over small claims. I need an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But
Yes.
what about arbitration? Do they
Hmm.
offer that as a feature?
Absolutely. So let's think about it this way. Legal Shield is designed to be used proactively. That's how we design the service, which is why it's so affordable, which is why we say just get it and use it early and often. But it's also there to be reactive because most people, just general, like for instance, they have a cough and then they never go get looked at until it's pneumonia, right? And so we say handle your legal cough before it becomes pneumonia. But most people don't want to do that. They want to stall and do all the other things and make life difficult for themselves. And then when the fire happens, they're like, oh my God, I need help. Okay. So we're there to help you when you've waited too long. Okay. We will be there to help you mitigate that situation if a client does get to the point where that isn't happening and you're trying to figure out how do I get my money? Like collections is huge. So what we do is we include debt collection letters in the legal plan. So depending on the plan, you get a certain number of letters per month. Now, if you know who owes you money and they have not paid you, then you call your legal shield law firm. Hey, so-and-so owes me this amount of money. The attorney writes a letter. And if it comes from our law firm here in Arizona, it's going to have 66 attorneys' names down the side of that letter.
Wow.
And it's going to get sent to the person who owes you money. It says, pay my client X amount of dollars or else, right? Usually their or else never needs to happen because that letter is enough to get the person to go, oh, okay, I guess I'm this person serious and I better handle this particular situation, right? If you need additional assistance beyond that, then we're there to help you with that. But usually that letter does the job. But let me back up for a moment. Let's say you use the service proactively.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, then you would use your law firm like you should use them as counsel. Attorneys are often called counsel for a reason. That means you speak to them as you're making decisions about your business and how you run it and how you want to handle your customers and what your policies and procedures are and what documents and things that you're using. That way your attorney knows what's going on with your business. And as customers complain, if they do come up, you have a dialogue, right? You have something to go, hey, here, this customer has now done this. How should I handle it? This customer went on Yelp and did put this kind of review. How should I deal with that? This customer called X DJ and said this about me. What should I do about that? Right? These are typically questions business owners ask each other. But if you think of any large business, okay, we're small business owners and we have big business problems. We don't have the big business budget. But what do you think a big business owner would do with something like that? They would call their lawyer.
Right.
Okay. So we try to educate small business owners to say, you can call your lawyer too. Your little business is going to become a big business if you handle it properly. And having this type of counsel, and resources, you have a team, you need a good accountant, a good lawyer, right? And probably someone to manage your social media these days, right? If you have these things in place, then you are setting yourself up for success.
And the client attorney privilege is intact, correct?
Absolutely.
Even
Absolutely.
even though you're using some service?
Oh, absolutely. So here's how it works. Great question. Many people often think, okay, well, she said $25 a month or $100 a month, whatever, it is. The most expensive plan we have, by the way, is only $169 a month. And that plan could be for any size business. Okay. So key thing they also changed. We used to have employee count limitations on a plan. If you had less than 100 employees, you could even get a small business plan. They've lifted the lid on that.
Wow.
Okay. So it doesn't matter how many employees. So to answer that question is we have law firms, okay, that are all dedicated to serving Legal Shield clients. And they're the best of the best. Arizona's law firm is Davis, Miles, McGuire, and Gardner. Look them up. Okay. We pay them to service our members. And they have dedicated attorneys that work with Legal Shield people who call in. So you're getting high quality AV rated law firms that typically might charge $500-600 an hour, but you don't pay that. Legal Shield pays that. You pay your little monthly fee, just like your HMO. You don't know what your doctor gets paid per hour. You don't even care. You just pay your premium, right? It's like crowdfunding. Okay, that's
So
what
you
we do.
mentioned so you mentioned, in your insurance, like
Yes.
the doctor thing,
Like an
but they
HMO.
have a
Yes.
right, the HMO, but they
Mhm.
have a deductible, right? Is there a
Mm.
deductible
Nope.
for?
There is not. You just pay your monthly fee. The only time you would need to pay more is if you fell into the 25% off area. Let's say your situation, was that. Let's say you did want to sue someone or you had a criminal situation. Hey, let's say you go rob a bank and get caught. You're going to need a lawyer, right? So you could use your LegalShield law firm for that at a 25% discount. Everyone gets due
Ah,
process.
I
Now we
like
don't
this.
condone that. I'm not encouraging that.
No, no, no. I didn't
what I'm
think you
what
were.
I'm what I'm saying is that you'll never need another a legal service again. And David Smile says that it's the only law firm you'll ever need because we cover every area of law. So just depends on what you need. And if it's out of state, we have a law
Property,
firm in every
property,
state. Property law, real estate law, traffic, get your will
um,
done,
uh,
business,
income tax.
income tax.
I'm
Yes, I
just
have
trying to
I
think.
have I have a
Creative.
tax attorney. I have a copyright attorney. I have a trademark
Wow, a
attorney.
copyright.
Everything, every
Wow.
area of law. So, and here's another thing. Sometimes members will say to me, well, Kenyatta, can I call Legal Shield about ABC? And I'm like, did you call Legal Shield to ask them that question? Did you call your law firm to ask them? And they're like, no, I called you. And I'm like, why don't you call them and see what they say? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not the attorney and I don't know the law. So if you have a question and you get unlimited advice and consultation and they call you back within 4 to 8 business hours, why would you bother calling me? Just call them. I called the other day and opened 5 separate tickets, 5 separate questions that I had that all turned out to be no 3 different attorneys to call me back to answer the 5 questions I asked. I
Wow.
didn't know what kind of attorney I needed.
Hmm.
I just knew that I had like 5 questions and I wrote them all down. So I'm like, can I ask all these questions right now? She's like, yep. What's the first question? What's the second question? She's like, okay, here's your case numbers for those questions. Someone will get back to you to 48 business hours. The first call came back in 20 minutes. Second one was like an hour later,
Nice.
right? And then if I have follow-up questions, I call back, I give them that case number and they get me right back on the phone with the attorney. And I can be like, hey, I got some more questions, or I don't remember what you said. Can you tell me that again? You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty much the coolest thing that oftentimes people don't think they need because they're not used to using attorneys, because most of us have been taught to only use attorneys when something's blown up or there's
Right.
blood on the floor or someone's in jail. If you grew up in a family that has attorneys in a family, let's say, then you know better.
Mhm.
You call them for everything, but
Uh,
because you
the
have access.
proactive model is really, the way to go.
That's the way to go. I mean, it really is. And you subscribe to all kinds of things these days. You have subscription. Netflix, as an example, everyone subscribes to Netflix.
Hmm.
Do you watch Netflix 24 hours a day? No. Well, some people probably do, but either way, you pay your little amount, I pay my little amount, but we use Netflix differently,
Hmm.
right? But we still subscribe to it because we want it to be there when we need it. I've had Legal Shield for almost 7 years. I would never cancel my Legal Shield membership. I'd cancel something else before I told myself, you can't afford that, Kenyatta. And as a business owner, it's a legal expense. So it's no brainer, right? And so as I grow and scale my business, I build my consulting business, I build my Legal Shield business. I want to make sure I'm making the proper decisions and that I have someone there. So when they called me back and answered my questions about copyright, told me some of the things I could do myself, looked at my non-disclosure agreement and my contractor agreement, like they look at all that stuff for me. If it's less than 15 pages, they look at it. Why would I not use something like that other than sheer being stubborn? you know,
So
so
smart.
so
Well,
and I'm
we,
smart.
yes, and we know the stubborn people, but we're not going to talk about them.
Oh yeah, they're out there. I get it.
This is so informative, and of course, with you, it's always fun.
Thank
What a
you.
great resource.
Yes, yes.
Thank you for taking a few minutes to spend with us today to talk about you and Legal Shield.
I appreciate. Thank you for having me, Scott. You are amazing,
Totally.
and so is Event Ensemble. All of you watching, you are amazing.
Ah, thank you so much, Kenyatta.